Hey, Stoic friends! Have you ever paused and found yourself wondering why it feels like you're invisible to the people who matter most? You give, you care, you're there whenever they need you, but somehow it seems like your presence is barely acknowledged, your voice just an echo. It's a painful feeling that many of us know well. But here's the thing, this moment, as uncomfortable as it is, offers a chance to turn inward and rediscover something valuable. In fact, Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." His words remind us that we have the power to shape our inner world, regardless of how the outside world perceives us. Feeling unseen or unappreciated can easily make us question our worth. We may start thinking, if they don't see my value, does that mean I'm not valuable? But that's where Stoic wisdom can be a lifeline. Aurelius teaches that it's not about what others think or how they act. It's about our own thoughts, our own mindset. When we choose to believe in our intrinsic worth, we begin to color our lives with dignity, self-respect, and peace. It's not about them. It's about us. Imagine that you're a rock standing firm at the edge of the ocean. Waves crash against you, tides rise and fall, but you remain steady, rooted, unshaken by external forces. The ocean represents the judgments, opinions, and sometimes the indifference of others. The rock? That's you, grounded in a sense of self that isn't dependent on anyone's validation. Like that rock, your worth isn't something that can be granted or taken away by others. It simply is. The Stoics often reminded us that we have power over our reactions, not the actions of others. When someone doesn't see us or fails to value us, it's easy to let disappointment or even self-doubt creep in. But the truth is, their perception doesn't define us. We define ourselves by the way we choose to respond, by the respect we continue to show ourselves, even when it feels like no one else is paying attention. This journey of self-respect and inner strength isn't about cutting people out. It's about connecting with our true value. Today, let's talk about how you can reconnect with yourself, even when you feel overlooked. This isn't about ego. It's about building an unshakable foundation of self-worth that doesn't depend on anyone else's recognition. With Stoicism as our guide, we'll explore how to stand firm, rooted in your own truth, unaffected by whether others acknowledge you or not. Because the validation that truly matters is the one you give yourself. So, if you're ready to explore this path of rediscovery and resilience, let's dive in together. It's time to shift your focus from being seen by others to truly seeing yourself. Let's get started. Number 1, reclaim your voice and thoughts. Reclaiming your voice and thoughts is the first step toward breaking free from the feelings of invisibility and unimportance. Often, when we feel dismissed or undervalued, it's not just because of others' behavior, it's also because we've allowed our own inner voice to become quiet, letting other people's judgments or indifference define how we see ourselves. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "We are disturbed not by things, but by the view which we take of them." His words remind us that much of the pain we feel comes from how we interpret events, not from the events themselves. It's easy to internalize the negative views others may hold or feel, that their lack of acknowledgement means we're not valuable. But the truth is, their opinions have no bearing on our true worth. Think about it this way. Each time you let someone else's view override your own, you're giving up a piece of yourself. You're allowing their voice to take the place of your own inner thoughts and beliefs. This isn't about ignoring everyone else's input or shutting people out. It's about regaining the balance where your voice has equal weight. where your inner dialogue matters just as much as anyone else's. When we look for validation externally, we're handing over the power to define our self-worth to others. But real confidence and worth come from valuing your own insights, beliefs, and desires. Start by acknowledging the thoughts and feelings you've been suppressing. What do you believe in? What values do you hold dear, regardless of anyone else's approval? Recognize that your perspective matters. No one else sees the world through your eyes. Your unique insights are your own, and they are valid. You might find yourself resisting this idea, thinking, but if they don't see my worth, maybe I'm not that valuable. Catch yourself in these moments and remember Epictetus's words. It's your view of their actions, not the actions themselves, that disturbs your peace. To reinforce this new perspective, start small by expressing your inner voice. If you've held back on sharing an opinion or an idea, try voicing it. Begin by valuing your thoughts in your own mind, and gradually allow them to find expression. This doesn't mean demanding others to see things your way. Rather, it's about giving your thoughts the room they deserve in your own life. The more you value your inner voice, the more it will naturally make itself known, and you'll find that you become less affected by how others perceive you. So, let this be a commitment to yourself. Drop an affirmation in the comments. My voice matters. This declaration is a reminder that you don't need to wait for others to validate your worth. By reaffirming that your voice matters, you're taking back the power that has always been yours. When you recognize that your thoughts and opinions are just as valid as anyone else's, you start to reclaim the confidence that may have felt lost. Remember, real self-worth isn't something that others can give you or take away. It's something that you build within, and it starts with trusting your own voice. Number 2, embrace being alone to rebuild self-love. Embracing solitude can seem daunting, especially when it feels like others have overlooked you. But in reality, solitude holds an incredible opportunity to reconnect with your inner self and rebuild the love that you deserve. Seneca once wisely noted, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." When we experience a lack of validation from others, it can feel like an ending, a painful closure. However, this end can also open the door to a profound new beginning, where the focus shifts from seeking others' approval to finding fulfillment within. When you're alone, it's easy to slip into thinking that something is missing. But solitude is a time to explore your thoughts, rediscover passions, and reconnect with the things that truly bring you joy. Maybe there's a hobby you set aside, a book you've been meaning to read, or a dream you've put on hold. Use this time to dive into those things, not for anyone else but purely for yourself. By doing so, you're not just passing time, you're actively rebuilding the foundation of who you are, rooted in self-love and independence. Being alone also gives you space to nurture self-respect. When you're alone, you don't need to worry about meeting others' expectations. Instead, you can focus on understanding your own needs, wants, and values. This time with yourself is a reminder that you're enough just as you are. You don't need someone else's presence to complete you. By valuing this time, you're creating a foundation of self-worth that isn't easily shaken by someone else's indifference. So, let this solitude be a sanctuary for rebuilding self-love and confidence. Drop an affirmation in the comments. I am enough in my own company. Remember, this journey isn't about isolation, but about filling yourself with the strength, peace, and happiness that come from within. Embracing time alone is a powerful way to cultivate a love for yourself that remains strong, no matter how others may act. Number 3, learn to honor your emotional needs. Honoring your emotional needs is essential to finding inner strength and peace, especially when others don't offer validation. Often, we bury our feelings, fearing that they're somehow less valuable or unworthy if they don't receive external acknowledgement. But suppressing emotions only creates internal tension, causing us to feel unheard and unseen even by ourselves. Maya Angelou captured this perfectly when she said, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." Your emotions tell a story, and denying them only intensifies the pain of feeling dismissed. When you allow yourself to recognize your feelings, without judgment or the need for others to approve, you're showing deep respect for your inner world. Emotions are not weaknesses, they're indicators of what you value and what affects you. They're signposts guiding you to areas of growth, self-care, and healing. Start by giving yourself permission to feel whatever arises, whether it's sadness, frustration, or even joy. It's okay if others don't understand. What matters is that you're not neglecting your emotional needs. Sometimes honoring these emotions means creating healthy boundaries or taking time to process them in a space where you feel safe and respected. By doing this, you're not just validating your feelings, but also affirming your right to experience and express them. Your emotions are part of who you are. They're not inconveniences to be brushed aside. Affirm this commitment to yourself by dropping it in the comments. My feelings are valid. Honoring your emotions isn't about seeking external validation. It's about embracing your inner truth and respecting your own needs. When you give your emotions the respect they deserve, you reinforce that your inner world is important, independent of anyone else's approval. Number 4, reconnect with your inner strength through acceptance. Feeling unappreciated by others can be deeply painful, but it's also an opportunity to tap into a strength that's often hidden by our reliance on external validation. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote reminds us that our true power lies in how we choose to perceive situations, not in trying to control the actions or opinions of others. Acceptance, in this context, isn't about giving up. It's about freeing yourself from the exhausting need to win over people who may never fully see your value. Recognizing this truth allows you to redirect your energy toward nurturing the aspects of yourself that don't depend on external praise or acknowledgement. By accepting that some people may not recognize your worth, you are in fact reclaiming your inner strength. When you accept things as they are, you stop wasting energy on resistance and start cultivating resilience. You begin to realize that your self-worth doesn't hinge on someone else's perspective. It's something you can carry with you, regardless of how others treat you. This approach doesn't diminish the pain of feeling overlooked, but it does empower you to respond in a way that preserves your dignity and reinforces your independence. Affirm this inner resolve by dropping it in the comments. I am strong because I accept what I cannot control. Acceptance doesn't mean you're okay with being undervalued. It means you're no longer allowing that treatment to define you. Embrace this acceptance as a pathway to growth, letting it remind you that your strength is rooted in your own mind and heart, not in the shifting opinions of others. Number 5, shift your focus from external to internal validation. When we feel insignificant to others, it's often because we've placed our sense of worth in their hands. We look for validation in their approval, their words, and their attention. But Stoic philosopher Epictetus offered a powerful reminder. If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. What he's teaching is that our distress often stems from how we perceive others' treatment rather than the treatment itself. Imagine the freedom in not needing anyone else's acknowledgement to feel valuable. Instead of allowing someone else's perception to shape your self-worth, try shifting your focus inward. Ask yourself, how do I see myself? What qualities do I bring to the world? By grounding yourself in your own values, talents, and integrity, you cultivate a sense of self that is unshakable. This approach doesn't mean you don't value positive connections with others. It simply means you're building a core of inner strength that doesn't waver based on external opinions. By affirming, "My validation comes from within," you're reinforcing a mindset that values self-acknowledgement over external praise. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My validation comes from within. Each time you remind yourself of this, you take a step toward freedom from the expectations of others. You no longer need their approval to recognize your worth because you've built a foundation of respect and self-assurance within yourself. This shift brings you closer to peace, aligning with the Stoic principle of focusing on what's within your control, your own judgment and perception. Number 6. Practice daily self-reflection and growth. When you feel overlooked or unappreciated, it's tempting to dwell on why others aren't seeing your value. But Marcus Aurelius offers a timeless piece of advice. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This statement encourages us to stop fixating on what others think or say, and instead focus on becoming the best version of ourselves. By channeling your energy into self-reflection and growth, you reclaim control over your own life. Daily self-reflection can be a powerful practice. Spend a few quiet moments each day asking yourself, what did I accomplish today? What could I improve tomorrow? This isn't about judgment. It's about noticing small areas for growth and celebrating progress. Rather than waiting for others to validate your worth, you're constantly evolving, learning, and setting new goals that bring meaning to your life. Consider keeping a journal where you track these reflections, goals, and steps forward. You'll begin to see patterns of progress and strength, reinforcing your independence from external validation. This journey of self-improvement is deeply personal. It's a commitment to grow stronger and wiser with each passing day, regardless of who notices. Drop an affirmation in the comments. Every day, I am growing stronger. This growth is a reminder that you are becoming the person you want to be, one who doesn't need anyone's approval to feel fulfilled. By focusing on who you're becoming rather than what others think, you embody the true spirit of Stoicism, a dedication to self-mastery and resilience. Number 7. Embrace the freedom that comes with letting go. Often, feeling unimportant to others can reveal an important truth. It's time to release the need for their approval. As Maya Angelou wisely stated, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. This quote speaks to the profound freedom that comes from letting go of the desire for external validation. When you stop seeking to be seen by others, you unlock a powerful form of independence that's rooted in self-respect. Letting go doesn't mean detachment from people. It's about releasing the hold their opinions have on your sense of self-worth. Picture your energy as a valuable resource. By allowing others' opinions to affect you deeply, you're handing over your power. But when you let go, you redirect that energy back to yourself, nurturing your own growth and peace. This freedom is about choosing not to let others define your happiness. It's deciding to live authentically, regardless of who recognizes your worth. Practicing this freedom daily can be transformative. Start small. Each time you feel invisible or unappreciated, remind yourself that you're not here to fit others' expectations. You're here to grow, live, and find fulfillment in ways that resonate with you. Drop an affirmation in the comments. I am free and enough as I am. Embracing this mantra brings peace that no one else can take away. You are whole, valued, and complete simply because you exist. This mindset shift allows you to live a life aligned with your inner values, without needing anyone else's approval to feel truly at peace. Remember, friends, feeling unimportant isn't the end of your story. It's the start of a powerful journey inward. Each time you're overlooked, take it as a call to reconnect with yourself and recognize your worth. When you focus on the value within, no one's indifference can shake you. Today, I want you to leave a mark on your life. Drop an affirmation in the comments. Declare it. I am more than enough. Let's lift each other up and build this community of strength together.